Hopefully everybody can hear us. Okay, good. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, well, good evening. Today is Monday, September 8th, 2025. The time is 5:30 exactly. And the Mid-Road Fire District Board of Directors will now call the meeting to order. We'll start with the roll call. Director Widley. Present. Director Ownby. Here. Director Jones is here. And Director McGowan and Director Hauser are absent at this time. Did you get a text? Yeah. Oh, so Director McGowan is excused. Did he say he would try to get her? We're not going to make it. He's not going to make her up. All right, and we have our administrative assistant, Cassie, helping us today, as always, keeping us in line. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to 1B. And allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Yeah, but I'm not saying you're live. You're not saying it's live. It shows it's live. This is what it said. And by technical difficulties. Let's see here. Oh, just got a text from Roy. He's running about 5 to 8 minutes late as well. You see here. Great. Get to the picture group. You know why it's showing there that we're live.
Just if you're looking for clarification, you're still coming through on the Zoom feed or whatever platform you're using.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out. Oh, yeah. Are you doing mid-row FD?
Just
Yeah. Shows it's coming through. On the live, here on the live side. YouTube /@ Mid-Row FD is where it should be.
Hold on, the agenda. This is
Okay. Is it there? Okay, try go back. See that? You know what? Because I created one that was I was hoping it's gonna think I scheduled one. I thought it would go to the scheduled one, but it didn't go to the scheduled one. That's my bad. I know not to schedule many for YouTube. All right, should I delete that so nobody sees it? I'm gonna do that without screwing everything up. Here, you need to give this. All right. I didn't get your text.
We followed water. Yeah. Sort of.
That's a big thing later tonight. Log on to the computer, fix it there. Yeah. All right, technical difficulties. I think we got it straightened out now. We looked up. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to item 2, the agenda, the approval of the agenda. I would, unless there is something that needs to be amended, I would entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make that later.
I have a first and a second. And we'll take the roll, please.
Director Hoffman,
Here.
Director Lakeland,
Yeah.
Director Homey,
Yeah.
and Director Jones.
Yeah.
Motion carries 4-0.
Very good.
That's okay.
Moving on to item 3. Approval of the minutes. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from last meeting?
Yes.
You see anything that needed to be addressed or changed? Nope. All right. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 25th.
Motion to approve those minutes.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, take the roll, please.
Director Hauser,
Yeah.
Director Wiley,
Yeah.
Director Homey,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Moving right down to item number 4, the financial report, bills payable and treasurer's report.
Currently, we've got the invoice from Kathy for her work, and that was paid today. And with that, we currently have a balance of $322,782.15 outstanding. We are waiting for the invoice from Berlin Works. And for the purchase of the audio video equipment being part being acknowledged by us.
So I bought them.
Yeah.
And this is the list of the items and then the order invoices is attached to that. The only thing that I forgot to order from our original one was the USB C extension cable. So I'm gonna have to order that. I tried that doesn't seem to work today, so I'll order it to check. Okay.
And that's it, we're planning to.
And so moving forward with the name change, we'll need the EIN number. We'll need that name change done for our identification. And then also the bank is going to need that name change paperwork as well as the EIN with the name change. And then yes, no, we don't need to release. It's not that we need to, we may need to sign also, but now for the debit cards should have the name change put in place.
I made a bunch of copies of the price, you have to, they didn't fix it for me.
Okay. Perfect. And then get those sent out.
Yeah.
SBAO, SBIS, and OFDDA. As well. So if you'd like, I can help you with those. So.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of who else needs. Oh, I'll need one more to hopefully illustrate and not be hands-on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, anything more for the financial report?
That was it.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving down to item 5, public comment. We have anybody in the audience today that wishes to provide some public comments? Seeing none. Anybody online that is to do public comment? If you are online and wish to provide some public comment today, please hit the hand raise button. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item 6, old business. Starting with 6A, will the Starlink mobile system purchase. How are we doing on that, Director?
Yeah, we hadn't decided yet. We looked at it after the last meeting. We're gonna decide if we're gonna move forward. Director Holmby brought his in, and we'd all checked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, so we worked really well.
And they still have,
It's still,
that's what I was
Here, maybe 2 Was it on one phone?
No, we didn't.
Everybody.
Well, with that, we would entertain a motion regarding the starting of the system. We need a motion. Purchase the Starlink system. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to purchase the Starlink mobile system. Any further discussion? The price, I believe,
Package. The equipment outlay, the $175, we're reporting. We talked about the roof rack mount, spend on meter hour 40, and the monthly fee is $650 or $65 a month. Total was, and we figured about $50 for case, freight, I think it'll. So total was around $245, then plus $65 fee.
245 for the system and case, and then 65 per month.
Yeah.
For the service, and that service can be cut off and like paused.
Yeah.
So you don't pay that same. It's fine. It's
But it's still usable in the emergency calls.
perfect. All right. Any more discussion? Take your roll, please.
Director Holland,
Yeah.
Director Whiteman,
Yeah.
Director Holmes,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
And moving down to item 6B, we have approval of policy 25-005, the financial authorization and check signing policy. Everybody got a chance to look that over? And was there any issues with the language in the policy? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the policy.
Motion to approve policy number 2025-005.
Seconded.
All right, in a second to approve policy 2025-005, financial authorization and check signing policy. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, roll please.
Director Holland,
Yeah.
Director Whiteman,
Yeah.
Director Holmes,
Yes.
Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Now, follow up the policy. We have resolution. Or excuse me, let me move this item 6B, which is the approval of resolution 2025-006, the adoption of the financial authorization and check signing policy. And everybody got a chance to read through that?
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion.
The motion to approve resolution 2025-006.
Motion and a second to adopt the financial authorization and check signing policy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, take the roll please.
Director Holland,
Yes.
Whiteman,
Yeah.
Director Holmes,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, moving down to item 6C, approval. It was 6C. Moving down to item 6B, sorry, that approval of the policy 2025-006 as written, social media and communication policy. Everybody got a chance to look over them? Would entertain a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the social media and communication policy. Number 2025-006.
As that the communication policy is 20-005.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's take the roll.
Director Holland.
Yes.
Director Whiteley.
Yeah.
Director Blumenbeed.
Yes.
And Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Right. Now moving down to item 6C. Approval of resolution 2025-007 in the adoption of social media and communication policy 25 to 2025-006. So I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number. Excuse me, not to approve. I would entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-007.
Meeting.
I'll second it.
And a motion in a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll please.
Director Thompson.
Yes.
Director Whiteley.
Yeah.
Blumenbeed.
Yes.
And Director
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Two new policies on the books. All right, that concludes our old business and moving into new business. Item 7A, committee reports. So staffing, Director McGowan and Director Hauser, do you have any update on staffing?
No updates. I've not been able to communicate with Director.
Updates the next meeting. All right, jumping down to the communications committee, Director Whiteling and Director Jones. Updates on communication from you. The only thing I have is the Facebook page is now active. Our agendas are being posted on there and any updates about events or meetings. And as we move along and move forward, any workshops will also be posted on there as well. So for anybody, you are right in front of me. Can't remember that one it is, but we are live on Facebook, so please look us up, Mid-Row Fire District, Facebook. And we're working on the website, which should be we'll discuss later other matters. But the website, the midroadfiredistrict.com right now until we get our .gov. So we'll get something up on so that we can also post our agendas and minutes and links to our videos for our live streams. And then obviously the YouTube is now youtube.com/@midroadfd is the new live stream channel for Fire District.
What was that YouTube channel?
It's youtube.com/@midroadfd. Moving down to policies and procedures. Director Owenby and myself have been working on a few more policies that are required by the district. And we're on that.
No, we talked this last week, and you suggested waiting until the next week.
Okay, moving down to the consideration committee. Director Whiteling, director, and myself. We you talk about it or we talk? Okay, so we met with Chief Nelson last week and discussed some items. And actually it might have been the week before. No, it wasn't. It was last Tuesday. And we are waiting for a few more items to get some data on, and then we will have an executive session meeting, hopefully our next general meeting. Throw in an executive session to discuss the outcome of the consideration. It's the only update we have that right now. Any other discussions on anything? Any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 7B, which is the attendance at the OFDDA conference. And you all got the printout for that conference, the dates and times and everything that's going to be discussed. So basically, once I have a commitment from everybody, we can put in for the grant, see how many will be covered by the grant, and then the remaining will be covered by the district. If the board decides that we should, the district to pay for our attendance at the conference. And we can all go, announce it as a public, put it on is it an agenda item? Do that, not really a public meeting, but just to announce it and show that we're all for this conference. So there you go, that's the word. So.
Just saying. Registered, but.
Yeah, we'll do it all together. Okay. Director Longby. Director Jones. Director Wyden. Director Hauser, would you be able to attend? Yep. And then just reach out to Director McGowan and see. That's right. Thank you for that. That's right. We did say that. So I was saying. Okay, so it'll just be the four of us through our district on that to get us all registered for that. Okay. That, and then moving into item 7C, strategic planning and data collection. For discussion. So the reason we were holding off on a strategic planning meeting tonight was print off, discuss all the extra information that we're going to need to move forward with our strategic planning. I did it off before I left, but I may not have grabbed it. And my printer is working correctly. It's different colors. Great. So you had a conversation.
So the reason we're coming up with this to talk about it tonight is, after our strategic planning workshop last week, we kind of realized we needed some more numbers to try and go forward, make a decision. One, just to be able to say which direction we're gonna go, time base, keep going the status quo, what we're doing right now. I was approached by, Chicken Mac Grant, and he was talking to me about doing the research and find out to put together some numbers before our next workshop, maybe our next workshop, possibly for sure by the end of October. The thought is that we need to look at the 30 and 70% scenarios that are being thrown out there, that if we go after a tax base, what is that 30% really gonna get us? So there's a lot of things that we need to have in our decision making before we go forward. The problem with this is it doesn't come by the way of just someone sitting down and doing it free. So with Mr. Grant, he proposed that we do a $25,000 cap in his report. Hire him to 99 private contract, that could be a policy. And then, I have a couple of directions that we can point him in. But the idea is that we have some numbers for our area. One, what is the real property value that's being taxed? Can't go by the real estate appraised value, you go by the real property value for its attached. And a lot of this is public information too. Having worked with Yield Control and get a better game plan for what is the outcome. If we do end up going with the tax base and hiring them solely by the operations, what is that potentially gonna look like? So a couple of notes that I came up with. And scroll forward here. Anyway, three different points that we've really pushed on is one, to have strategic planning development. And two is look at the insurance industry and see what the current assessment is of our area. And three, do a district revenue study to comparison of subscriptions versus tax levy extended in the demographics of analysis depending on where we occur, hopefully where our data. So not just going down to the tax office and getting numbers, but look at would it be more beneficial to stay in a subscription-based service like we're doing right now and continue the direction we're going, or would it be worth going for a tax base? And
In the note of insurance, we just a quote. Interesting, yeah, the insurance company are using that template that was issued out. And not ridiculous compared to what we had in the past. We're doing the mortgage stuff like play and we had to get a reissuance of insurance. And we got some quotes and it was much higher. So I think that's gonna be an interesting hurdle right there.
I just talked to a friend that's actually in city limits, has a mechanic garage, rents the space from the landowner. The insurance company went through Google satellite or satellite imagery, saw the property and canceled their transfer. And that was what was stated in their letter. So there's a big, there's some issues going on with the insurance industry too.
Well, it's interesting you brought that fact up too, because they mentioned, they showed me a picture. And they talked about the adjacent property next to it. And they said, well, it's not been mitigated, you see your property is, but, and they said, well, I've been to ODF, we asked them to talk to them about mitigating their property. And ODF said, well, there are, we can't communicate with them. This is a huge issue.
So the act that I bring before the board tonight is, we don't have to make a decision tonight. Like you guys have to think about it for a while, we can table it next week. But I'd like to propose that we hire Michael Grant as a private contractor. I'd like to see us put a spending cap on his hours, just, he doesn't think that it's gonna be more than that, but he wants to be fair and doing his research and getting us valuable work. So that's my proposal, is that we put a cap. We hire him as a private contractor, he is licensed. And then we put a cap on it.
So I'll throw this out for our policy, 20 and 25-002. Small procurements are 10,000 to 50,000. We'll need a minimum of 3 quotes before we can choose.
Do we have something in there, that would elaborate more on, let's say, experience you get 3 quotes? Maybe 2 are outside of our area and we know nothing about them.
We still have to put this out for a minimum of 3 final quotes for our policy that we adopted back early on. And in the whole,
Informal is just.
it's right,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
not,
the informal, just get quotes from three different people, three different communities. And we can make our decision from there, but we have to follow.
so what I would like to see is, maybe that you guys help bring the key points that we need to hit in this report. And then what I can do is follow up with where you can find help other people to get it. But we don't need to make a decision tonight. I just wanted to get it out here, get an agenda, because it's part of our strategic plan making. And having numbers, having data for our district is key. And I don't think it should be on one of us to go out and sit and fail. Yeah.
Well, and having somebody who's actually, and be an expert in the field, able to pull groups and know where to go get that actual information. Whereas, it take us probably a while. To track it. Yeah. So I definitely think, subletting this out or contracting this out to somebody to bring that data forward. Is gonna be the beneficial way. There is other data though that, us as a board can start collecting as well. And I printed that out, and unfortunately, left it there. So let's bring it up on our next meeting. Which will be. So, the 22nd. And if there's anything that you can think of, data that would be essential to our strategic planning, because we will actually have a strategic planning meeting after the second to bring some of this forward. Strategic planning. So. Yep. Okay. All right. Any more discussion about strategic planning? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 7D. Agency having jurisdiction ordinances. So for many years, this area that is now our district was considered unprotected or underserved by the state fire marshal. And therefore the state fire marshal was the agency having jurisdiction. So they went by their policy ordinances, and as far as people wanting to get variances for different items, whether they, let's say they wanted to be able to do fireworks for a large party on their ranch and it's outside of fire season, so they would have to get some sort of clearance to be able to do that. State fire marshal had to go out, check the area and make sure it's safe, whether or not they needed to have fire standby and things like that. So those ordinances and policies were in place by the state fire marshal. However, now that we are the fire district, we are the agency having jurisdiction, and all those ordinances and policies need to be created. The nice thing is most of them are already created. We can copy and paste or change them however we see fit. So that is something that we're gonna have to start working on. I don't know, I know we don't wanna do committees, but so I don't know if each one of us wants to start taking and looking into certain ordinances and policies that are in place right now by the state fire marshal, and bring some of those forward at our next meeting to discuss ones that we would need to change. We can create a list. I could go through and find out what's there, and then we can email out that list and pick and choose which one you want to look at.
I think, ODF has a great template for harvesting during fire season, which has an incident action plan, which identifies, let's say the ranch, for example, we're gonna have a, gala there. Well, it has flat, knows the time when it's gonna happen, and it's kind of a good step for that. I think might be helpful to.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we need to go with this is start working on some of those, because like I said, now that the district is in place, that falls on the district.
Go to investigations.
And investigations, technically those fall on the district as well. And that is something that is being hopefully worked on between our staffing committee and the current service provider.
So AHA, in my understanding, is going to cover more than fireworks or, you know, forestry type of building.
Building, planning,
Fire cases. Business inspection.
business, yes, yeah, for hoping. That's why I said I'd get a list of all different things that we can divvy it up to who can take which ones. You know. Yearly safety surveys, businesses, things like that. That stuff is now done in the district.
Did we had any sit down conversation with regards to timeline?
Did not really discuss a timeline. Recall a timeline. But it's basically, as of now, we are agencies. So,
Yeah.
they will still, from the discussion I had, they would still be doing those things when asked, so.
Yeah, we can provide that. Is big what you want to do.
Yeah, so we'll look at the list of all the different categories and then just split them up. And I'll work on, each of us will work on those and bring it forward to the next meeting or the meeting after that, I think be.
Has this already been done for entrance area? Through the state fire code? Changing according to the district area?
No, we did a cooperation with fire marshal's office, and that outlines what we can provide and what we can't, and what we can, they're willing to pick up.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've kind of split investigations. They do the big ones, we handle the small stuff. They've been doing all business inspections. And it sounds like they would continue, they're willing to continue doing the industrial, large commercial, and the standard business occupancy would fall on to the district eventually.
And do they do education daycare?
Yeah, they do education and daycare. That's under a different program. Yeah. And then they'll continue doing education and daycare.
Questions or discussion about that? All right. Hearing none, we'll move down to item 8 on the agenda, correspondence, review of any letters, email, or documents received. Nothing, still nobody's emailing us or calling us on the phone or anything. Okay. Moving on to item 9, additional matters of the board, open floor for board reports, requests, or comments. Anything? I don't think we finalized it before. Anything, Director House? Director Wiseman, good. Director Owenby? All right, no additional matters from the board, so. Item number 10, without objection, would like to adjourn today's meeting. Hearing none, we will adjourn today's meeting at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Yeah.